It is time for some more World Touring Car action. It's the TRAC World Touring Cars. It's round number 7. We are on the cruise into the finale of the championship, and we are in France for another 3 races today. Le Mans is going to play host to the World Touring Cars around the Bugatti circuit. This 2.6 mile venue is going to play host to 3 more awesome jam-packed races. Taking a look at the lay of the land, thanks to AMS Mercs missing out on a race. TRAC Crow now leads the championship by just 5 points over LMP Stats. Nathel, their teammate, is sat there in 3rd place. Sean S91, Puglet X Modified, and WRT McCallboy still in with a very good shot of the championship. TRAC John rounds out the top 7. Then there's a little bit of a gap back to Skunkai, who sits there in P8, with TRAC Johnny rounded out the top 9. Qualifying has already been completed, so we can reveal where everyone's going to be starting for this first race today. And off pole position, it is AMS Mercs and SVR Brothers, who are both unrestricted on the front row. It's Cream DOR Kragan on form row 2, DOR Snake Eye, TRAC Crow on row number 3, with the Oreo cars of John and Johnny on row number 4. Row 5 is Skunk Eye in the Mercedes, and Nathel in the BMW with LMP Stats and WRT McCallboy. Mike in the Invisible Hondas there alongside Sean S91 with Punisher and Trap Bliss, rounding out the top 16, and finishing out this grid is Puglet X Modified in the Honda. Now we know where everyone's starting, it's time to go racing. Let's head down to the grid for race number 1. So down to the grid for the first time tonight, ready to go racing, round number 19 of the championship. The first race of the pro drivers. We've got 5 red lights on, waiting for them to be extinguished. When they do, we are racing Le Mans. Good start there for the BMW. The Chevrolets get a really good start as well. They're going side by side immediately, about to swallow up that Honda. Heading down in towards turn number 1 for the first time. Maybe Chevy's going to get past AMS Mercs as well. The Chevrolet's definitely pretty quick off the blocks in the later part of the season, as it looks like you've got Kragan now firing it down the inside in towards 2nd place. I believe that's Snake Eye actually in the 346. Tries to go side by side there with AMS Mercs, but ends up having to slot back into 3rd place. Bradzo's already stretched a decent lead away from these guys who are fighting. Creamed in a Chevrolet sandwich as he heads down through the bottom corner and start double back on towards the infield. They leave the Circuit de la Sarthe and head on to the infield of the Bugatti circuit. But it is Bradz who leads. AMS Mercs is still in 2nd place, with it looks like Snake Eye about to get overtaken by Cream. Cream's come so long way back, throws it down the inside, but isn't quite close enough to make that move stick. But ends up falling back into 4th place, still side by side, attempting with that Chevrolet in towards the bottom hairpin. The double right-hander that takes you back down towards the start-finish line to put on the first lap in the book. That Honda right into the rear wing of the Chevrolet as they head down the back straight and start getting ready to head in towards the chicane. One of the more dangerous parts of this circuit. You've got the wall that comes at you pretty quickly on the inside. If you do try and take too much curb, it is going to lose you a lot of time if you clip it. But Cream in that Honda is all over the back of the Chevrolet. There could be a move on here pretty quickly down in towards the final sector. This really helps a car that has a lot of front end grip and is able to drag itself through here. But the Honda right on the rear wing of Snake Eye in the Chevrolet, heading through the final couple of corners to head back onto the famous start-finish straight at Le Mans to put the first lap in the book. But Bradz leads the first lap over the line. AMS Mercs there in 2nd. Snake Eye wins that battle at the moment for 3rd. This flies over 6th place. You've got the 2 WSL BMWs heading down towards turn number 1 with Punisher not too close, not too far behind them. That is in towards turn number 1. That looks like the Bellagson stays left there at the moment, so Stats inherits 6th place there. Punisher backs off a little bit. Stats, those all locked up, so it's all going wrong for the WSR cars at the moment. There's TRAC Crows in there as well. Will Stats be able to hang on to that place? Not quite. They're about to get swallowed up now as you head under the double lock bridge, and that's both the WSR cars falling down the order. And Punisher moves himself into 6th place with TRAC Crow just in front of, just behind him, and Stats now really on the recovery. He looks like you've got Skunk Eye in that mix as well, trying to fight his way through with Sean S91 and 55 car wearing his brand new livery for today. Looks pretty good. It's a retro Audi livery, and it's really starting to help him out at the moment. Maybe it's a little bit lighter. He's starting to get himself further up the field as he tries to go around the outside of Skunk Eye in that long left-hander. Isn't quite close enough to make it stick. The Mercedes gets a good drive out of the corner in towards the double right-hander. Sorry, that Patronus-coloured Mercedes, maybe about to lose out to this Audi RS3 as it puts his massive power down to the road. It's one of the benefits of the RS3. It does have a lot more power compared to some of the other cars in this field. About 370 horsepower for the Mercedes, around the 400 mark for that Audi RS3 in towards the chicane now, and they're all still line astern, but the Audi RS3's right on the tail as you got McCallboy and Mike going at it now as well. That Vauxhall really starts to fall under pressure now from the Modal car. You've also got one of the Simpsons cars in there. I believe that's Puglet X Modified that's in that fight as well. but it looks like Mike's just managed to sweep across the nose of McCollboy to get that place. So the Vauxhall falling down the order. The local colour Honda, though, definitely not getting away as quickly as they might want. The Vectro looks to throw it down the inside, a little bit of a touch. They back out of it a little bit. That's allowed the Simpsons Racing Honda to get right on the rear wing of the Chevrolets. They head down the main straight with one of the Oreo cars in there as well. So McCollboy, in an attempt to not lose more than one position, might be about to lose a further two down the main straight though. McCollboy's got a little bit of a gap in front now to Mike, so that little bit of a back off has already given Mike a run and potentially getting away from this fight a little bit further behind McCollboy. McCollboy goes wide in towards the first chicane, and that's going to let the Honda through, potentially out of the Oreo Audi of Johnny in the 72 car to get through. They head under the Dunlop Bridge in towards the bottom end of the circuit and sweep off the Circuit de la Sarthe and onto the Bugatti circuit. The 72 car gets himself ahead. This the fight for the lead at the moment between arguably the two fastest drivers in the championship, with 8 wins between these guys, 5 in the favour of Bradders, 3 in the favour of AMS Merckx. Both these guys have missed rounds, which is why they're not towards the front of the championship. Remember, Merckx was leading the championship until they missed that race last time out at Brands Hatch. But Merckx now potentially about to go for a race win here to potentially try and get that championship fight back on in towards the final couple of corners, though. They don't quite have the answer for that BMW of Bradders. The Beamer just has a better drive off that corner. The rear-wheel drive really paying dividends as they go across the lines, put another lap in the books. But like I say, these guys, 2 of the best racers in the field. Bradders has only ever been on the podium when he's won races. So if Merckx can beat him this time, that will put that streak to an end. 5 race wins so far for Bradders and 5 podiums to his name. Merckx right under the rear wing of that BMW, potentially looking for a move to go under the Dunlop Bridge, get ready to head on towards the Bugatti circuit. These 2 giants of the World Touring Car Championship going at it for the lead of this race. Merckx tries to go around the outside of Bradders in the BMW, but he's not quite close enough to go for it. Has to slot back in behind him. This fight is going to go down to the wire. Neither of these are going to give each other an inch. Merckx throws it down the inside. Again, not quite close enough to get in there. Ends up sideways and ends up losing out as Bradders himself runs wide to try and hold on to the position. Fantastic racing between these 2. This is about as close as Merckx has been for the last lap or so. He's a little bit closer than he was in the last run through. He's going to potentially be able to get side by side. He's side by side with Bradders for the lead into the final sector. This is where the Honda's a little bit stronger than the BMW. The front end grip of that Honda is just going to drag it in front of SVR Bradders. AMS Merckx takes the lead here, just ahead of SVR Bradders here at Le Mans, but Bradders still holds it around the outside. The drive of that BMW could potentially get him through, but Merckx shuts the door on him and gets the lead of this race. While we've been watching that fight at the front, this is the fight for 4th place now, as Cream has fallen right into the clutches of the Chevrolet, so it could end up being a BMW, being a Honda 1, BMW 2, Chevrolet 3 and 4. But it looks like Cream isn't going to go down without a fight. They're still side by side with DOR Craggadon as the Honda goes towards the inside and gets the place back. Ends up back in 4th place and just holds on against the Chevrolet, but the Chevy is all over the rear wing. You've got to think maybe they've looked after the tyres a little bit better. Maybe that car's a little bit lighter on fuel. That Chevrolet at this stage of the race definitely looks like the quicker car compared to the Honda. Heading in towards the bottom sector and down the main straight. The Honda using all of the track to try and stay in front. A little bit of a track extend there, on board with Craggadon. Look at the back of that Honda back in its original livery. This time out, it ran a special livery out at Brands Hatch and it looked absolutely amazing, but it's now sideways through the chicane. This could be what Craggadon needs to get 4th place away from that Honda, side by side in towards the final sector. The Chevrolets are just ahead and gets the place, gets in towards 4th place, and is now right behind their teammate. So it's Chevrolet 3 and 4 at the moment, but Cream is pushing that Chevrolet as hard as he can, potentially try and get the place back, but he's not close enough to go for it just yet. Down the main straight, and the Honda has to settle for 5th place in this one. Now you've got Sean and Stats going toe-to-toe in towards the Dunlop chicane, the BMW and the Audi, nose to tail. The BM gets a little bit sideways out of that corner, but just manages to pull away as we head up to the Dunlop Bridge and down in towards the bottom section of the circuit. Now you've got the Honda getting into this one as well. Looks like TRAC Johnny's trying to get himself in this fight as well. So what was a 2-car fight can now quickly become a 5-car fight. It's exactly what we normally see in the World Touring Car Championship. These cars do close up pretty quickly when you start fighting, and you've got to be on it 100% of the time to try and get away and win these races. The Simpsons Racing car right under the rear wing now of that independent Audi RS3, wearing the Audi Sport colours, down in towards the bottom corner. Track Crow's already got away from these guys pretty quickly. LMP Stats isn't close enough at the moment to potentially try and get a slipstream down this straight to get away, as it looks like that's Puglet X Modified right in the back of the Audi RS3, on board now with the Honda driver in the Simpsons Racing colours as they head down in towards the chicane to head into final sector under the Le Mans Bridge. And in towards the chicane, it is LMP Stats that's still ahead of these, but now they've got Sean S91 right on the rear bumper of them heading in towards the final sector. Now Sean thought about a little bit of a jig towards the inside to go for a move, but he wasn't quite close enough to go for it. He is closing up though through these last couple of corners. Looks like Stats, the BMW, not quite quick enough to get away from the Audi RS3. He's trying to go around the outside of the final two corners, not close enough. Stats runs wide though. Sean gets down the inside. It's going to be a drag race down the main straight to decide who's going to take over 6th place. It looks like Sean S91's just losing out actually to BMW. The BM gets to drive off the corner, on board with Sean now as they head through the first corner and down towards the Dunlop chicane to put another lap in the books. Tries to go around the outside here. This isn't really an overtaking point that you want to be going for. He could end up losing out to the Honda if he's not careful. On board with the Honda drive, you can see the 55 car just comes back in front under the Dunlop bridge and down in towards the bottom sector. He just hangs on and gets away with that one. A little bit of a mistake, but he managed to get away with it at this point. Looks like the Honda now trying to falling under a bit of pressure from Track Johnny now, having to get out of the power to avoid running into the Audi RS3. And thanks to those little mistakes, LMP Stats is already starting to disappear. Now Johnny's under pressure. Skunk Guy's trying to get the move on him. This fight is absolutely fantastic. No one's trying to give each other an inch here. They are fighting tooth and nail for these positions. Skunk Guy a little bit further back. Johnny brakes really late. Almost ends up in the back of Puglet as they head through that bottom corner down the main straight. The Audi gets a good one out of that corner. Going to go try and go side by side with the 85 car down the main straight in towards that chicane as they head under the Le Mans Bridge in towards the braking zone. Using the curve to spot the braking zone side by side through the chicane. The Honda gets to jump through the first part. The Audi gets to jump through the second part and gets the position. So in a straight fight between two of the fastest drivers in the championship, it looks like it's the guy who was leading the championship up until the penultimate round at Brands Hatch. It's the 158, it's AMS Mercs who's going to come across the line through the final couple of corners and is going to take victory in round number 19 of the Track World Touring Car Championship. Over the line, AMS Mercs takes victory ahead of SVR Bradders. The first time Bradders has been on the podium without taking victory. DWR Snake Eye there in third. DWR Cragadon completes a Chevrolet 3 and 4. It's Cream rounds out the top 5 for Honda. Punisher comes home 6th. Mike in 7th. Track Row 8th. LMP Stats, thanks to being able to get away from that fight behind, finishes in 9th place. 10th is Sean S91. 11th Track Johnny with Puglet X Modified rounded out the top 12. Now, next up would usually be the partial reverse grid for race number 2, but unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, we're not able to show you that race. We do have the results from that session though, and it was a win for LMP Stats, the BMW, ahead of Sean S91 in the Audi RS3 and Track Crow completing the podium in the BMW. Puglet X Modified finished in 4th and Fell in 5th. DWR Snake Eye 6th, SVR Bradders managed to get themselves up towards 7th place. 8th was WRT McCallboy, 9th was Mike in the Honda, 10th was round 1 winner AMS Mercs. It's Cream finished 11th with DWR Cragadon completing the top 12. Now, what follows next is the full reverse grid race 3, which we can show you. And thanks to the results of race 2, Trap Bliss lines up on pole with Punisher in the BMW alongside Track John and Skunk Eye will share row 2 with Track Johnny and DWR Cragadon completing row number 3. So, for the final time tonight, let's get down to the grid. So, race number 3 on the grid, ready to go. Wait for the 5 red lights to come on. Here at Circuit de la Sarthe on the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. We are racing again at Le Mans. The BMW shoots off the line as expected. The Mercedes off the second row. Looks like they've got a really good start as well. So Skunk Eye getting himself up among the big boys pretty quickly on as the Chevys again get a really good start. You can see the top 3 there are snaking away at the start. The Chevrolet moves a bit to 4th place. Track John moves them down the order as Bradders gets himself up there and towards the top 5 as well as Skunk Eye gets shuffled out as it's carnage behind. There's cars off everywhere behind in the background, but it is Punisher across and under the Dunlop Bridge for the first time who leads the way ahead of the Simpsons Racing car of Trap Bliss with Skunk Eye getting himself in towards 3rd place. But that Honda is all over the back of the BMW straight away. You see the gap that's been caused thanks to that off at the start. As you've got one of the Chevrolets has got himself into he's got himself into 4th place pretty quickly on. So good start there for the BMW driver, potentially going for a 6th win out at the Circuit de la Sarthe. Now you've got the BMW and the Honda in front going side by side in towards that bottom corner. Will this be a move for the lead early on? Punisher just looks like he's got the marks on that Honda. The Honda's using all of the track to try and get past, but it isn't enough. The 18 car still holds on to the lead. Punisher leads ahead of, I believe that is TRAC Bliss there in second place, who we're on board with now. Locked into the rear wing on the rear bumper of that BMW, heading through under the Le Mans Bridge into the chicane, and Bradders gets himself into third place. He's got past Skunk Eye already, so Bradders is on a charge. Bradders is going for this one straight away in towards the final sector. The Honda now in second place is the target for SVR. Bradders behind. TRAC Bliss is already the target, as it looks like Bradders is behind. He's losing a place there. The Chevrolet's just sent it down the inside of him as coming through the final couple of corners. The battle for the lead is hotting up straight away here at Le Mans. So we're going to get a look at what happened at the start. On board with Sean, heading towards turn one. The double up chicane for the first time. Oh, you've got Mike. Mike's been turned around by one of the BMWs, and it looks like there's another car been sent off towards the outside. I believe that was Nethel that did the turn, and as you got Cream spat out towards the scenery there as well. He's on board with TRAC John looking back. So John had a really good start, a really good qualifying. He ends up with a little bit of a slide on, and he's been punted by his teammates. His second Oreo car has taken TRAC John out, so Johnny and John come together. So it's the fight now between TRAC, Crow, Nethel and AMS Merckx. Merckx is trying to make the way through the field as quickly as can as they go three wide into the final sector. Merckx has got one place already. He's going to go for second straight away. So Merckx, in space of two corners, gets two places there. The charge up the order definitely on now for the Honda driver. But Nethel, if they're smart, is going to be able to carry that speed with AMS Merckx, potentially use the draft, use that slipstream to get their way up towards the front of the field and go with that Honda. But the 87 car definitely a little bit slower at this point in the race than that Honda. Has a ridiculous amount of grip heading in towards the double chicane for the first time. Merckx looks like he's under attack actually. Nethel sends it down the inside, can't get the power down though, and the Honda lives to fight another day at the moment, but the BMW is strong out the corner. They're going to get the power down again on the rear bumper of the BMW. He's got one of the Mercedes, and the Chevrolet's going nose to tail as they head through that bottom corner side by side just in front of us. It's Skunk Eye, and I believe that is DOR Cragganall that are going side by side down in towards that second hairpin as they double back onto that short straight. Skunk Eye in the 420 car trying to get themselves back up towards the sharp end of the field. You can see the guys in front of him. Looks like Punisher's coming under threat as well. It's a three-car fight just in front, but the 420 car holding on in fifth place at the moment. Definitely wants to try and make that fourth though. The Chevrolet not the quicker car at this point, as you've got the leaders still nose to tail. Looks like Punisher and Bliss are side by side as Merckx is in this now. The 158 car is going to go side by side with Skunk Eye down the back straight. Will the fit 158 be able to get past the 420? Looks like they've already managed to get the run down in towards the chicane. Got the move done before the chicane as they pulled the Nethel and TRAC Crow along as well, so Skunk Eye could be under pressure here. While at the front, it's the fight for the lead. Punisher versus Bliss has Bradders right in there for company. Bliss tried to go down the inside, wasn't close enough. Bradders is going down the outside of Bliss now for second place. Bradders going down the outside side by side with a Honda. Will the BMW be able to get the power down? That was how they lost the lead to AMS Merckx in race number 1, and they've not been able to get through into P2 in this race so far. So going to have to try and figure out another way of doing it. Going to go side by side down the main straight in towards the first corner, and then down in towards that in towards the Dunlop chicane. Bradders using all of the road and a little bit more, but Bliss comes back at them. Massive lockup from the Honda there. They go straight on. Arrivederci goes the Honda, but doesn't quite have the pace to get back on track. As now you've got the Chevrolet. I believe Merckx is through as well. Merckx is on the podium. Merckx is up into third place. Bradders down to fifth, and Bliss down to fourth place, but Merckx a big profiter. Now in second as the Chevrolet goes wide. This seems to be a race that no one wants to be on the podium for. Everyone's going off wide. The fight between Bliss and Bradders is definitely not over yet. Bradders tries to go around the outside, but they're not quite close enough to get the power down straight away, as Bliss now has their eyes clearly set on the 323 car just in front of them, but the BMW has the power down, and it's going to get the draft down the straight. They're locked into the rear wing of that Chevrolet in front, and Bradders gets themselves into fourth place. Bliss is going to fight it. Bliss is going to try and hold it on as long as they can. Bliss hangs on to fourth place. At the front though, thanks to fighting behind, Merckx now has this view in front of him. On board with AMS Merckx, the winner of race number 1, potentially about to go on for a win in race number 3 here. AMS Merckx and the Honda right to the rear bumper of Punisher already. That BMW really starting to fade at the moment. The Honda side by side with Punisher down the short straight in towards that bottom left hand hairpin. throws it to the inside, gets the move. Merckx takes the lead. Merckx leads again at Le Mans. Takes the lead on the BMW by sending it down the inside. AMS Merckx in that white and blue Honda takes the lead away from Punisher. Punisher's going to try and fight it though, but he's not close enough to even think about a dive. Shows the nose on the inside, but Merckx closes the door. Stats versus Skunk Eye. Stats has a little bit of breathing room, but that gap has been closing pretty quickly. Skunk Eye, the Mercedes, definitely the quicker car at this point. He's side by side with Stats after a little bit of a slide through that last sector. Stats now hanging on for dear life in that BMW. I think those rear tyres maybe just about done, but he just about gets away with it and lives to fight another day compared to that Mercedes. So while we were watching Stats try and hang on from Skunk Eye, there was a move over second place. D-Rock Craggadon managing to get past Punisher. This is how they managed to do it, in towards the Dunlop chicane, and Punisher goes really wide, gets the lock up on the rear wheel. By the look of it, the Chevrolet just drives straight past him. A tiny mistake there from Punisher. Craggadon now trying to hang on from Punisher. He's brought the rest of the cars in it. Punisher goes back down the inside to try and take second place away from the Chevrolet. It's going to be a drag race down into towards the right hand of the BMW. Can get the power down, but the Chevrolet's definitely the better car in the corners at this point. But it looks like Punisher's just got in front. Craggadon still there, sending it down the inside. Has brought Bliss and Bradders into this one as well. It's again going to be a drag race. The BMW has to go off track to try and stay in this battle. On board with Bliss now as he looks at the pair of them doing battle in front of him down in towards that Le Mans chicane under the Le Mans bridge. And Punisher just about has the move done and completed on the Chevrolet. Moves back in towards the second place. Craggadon though again going side by side in towards the final sector. The Chevrolet's a little bit stronger at this point. Contact between the pair of them. The Chevrolet sideways. The Chevrolet's in the gravel. The Chevy's off the road. That's going to drop him down the order and bring Bliss into P2. So thanks to that off, Bradders now fighting over second place, potentially about to get a second in the third race here at Le Mans. That's a lot of numbers. My brain can't quite keep up at this point, but Bradders now trying everything to get past Bliss and potentially maybe mount a charge on AMS Merckx, who's a little bit further away at this point. Bradders down the inside into the double right-hander, gets the move as Bliss runs wide. That's going to allow Punisher through as well, so Punisher completes the podium at this point. Two BMWs now potentially able to work together and maybe get onto the back of the Honda in front. This is on board with the Simpsons racing car of Bliss, who just lost that place for P number 3, trying to get themselves back on the podium. Lock up from the Honda through the chicane, not close enough to be able to do anything about it. Bradders though has the power down, again using all of the track. Gonna have to be careful about track limits at this race, but Bliss now trying to throw it down the inside of Punisher. Again there's contact with that BMW. The BM gets a tiny bit of a nudge. Bliss backs out of it quite smartly to avoid a penalty, and eventually he's going to have to try and find another way past his BMW into the final couple of corners though to put another lap in the book. But it is the BMWs that are sat there in second and third as Merckx is shot off in the distance. So Stats now trying to make the way through the field. We've got two BMWs sat on the podium at this point. Stats trying to get a little bit further up the point. Tries to throw it down the inside of Puglet at the moment as McCollboy, the Vauxhall, gets sent around. But I believe that's Snake Eye and maybe Track joining there as well under the Dunlop bridge. Looks like you've got Stat and Bliss going side by side. Stat and Puglet, sorry, going side by side in towards that bottom hairpin. That's going to allow Craggadon and Mike to get away from this one with Snake Eye and Johnny just behind as well. This could end up with a 4-car fight pretty quickly. Stats though isn't worried about that. He's focused more on getting past Puglet at this point in time. Side by side, still they go. Just using all of the track and maybe a touch more, but Stats has to back out of it as Puglet manages to get themselves and hold the position on the BMW into the double right-hander now. Stats thinks about it again, sends it down the inside and gets something done just in front. Slams the brakes to touch to slow that Honda down and potentially bring the Chevrolet and the Audi behind into this one. The 99 car, look at the gap that Mike's already been able to pull out. This is what happens when you really start fighting and you end up losing time in towards the chicane. Mike in that Honda is a little bit too far away at this point, but McCollboy in the Vauxhall is right on the back of Puglet at this point, so there might be a move on here. So it's very rare that we do see a driver take 2 wins in 1 meeting, but this man is about to do it. Across the line, AMS Merckx comes across the line to win round number 21 of the Track World Touring Car Championship. Again, SVR Bradders comes home in second place with Track Bliss and the Honda completed the podium. Punisher comes home in 4th, having run towards the front of the field. Skunk Eye in 5th. Nafel in 6th after off in race number 1, so good recovery over the other 2 races. D-Rock Craggadon 7th, Track Pro 8th, 9th was It Screamed, Mike in 10th from the Honda. LMP Stats came home 11th after that fight, with Puglet X Modified rounding out the top 12. So now we know the race results. Let's take a look at the championship, and at the top, it's all change. LMP Stats takes the lead by just 3 points over Track Row, and Nathel Stats his teammate just a further 8 points further behind. Sean S91's there on 8.34 in P number 4. Puglet X Modify completes the top 5 on 8.27. 10 points further back in 6th place is WRT McCallboy in the Vauxhall. 7th is Skunk Eye in that Mercedes with a big gap now to McCallboy in 6th place. AMS Mercs moves their way up to 8th place, having been down towards the bottom 10, with Track John completing the top 9 on 7.64. So the next time we see the pro drivers is when we head stateside to Miami. We're going to Homestead on the road course for round number 8 of the championship. If you like what you see, you want to see more, and you don't want to miss out on the AM class, which is coming up soon, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in Miami.